Your dream will not wait for you, and neither should you. Have you ever felt frustrated because your goals seem just out of reach, no matter how hard you try? You are not alone. Most people spend years thinking about what they want without ever taking real focused action. They wait for the perfect time, the perfect plan, or the perfect feeling, and in the process, life keeps moving. The truth is, making your dream come true is about consistent action, smart choices, and learning to handle the challenges that will come your way. In this video, you will learn how to break your dream into steps that you can actually follow, how to stay positive and strong when things get hard, and how to focus on the tasks that truly move you forward. You will see how showing up every single day, learning new skills, asking the right people for help, and pushing past fear can change everything. By the end, you will have a clear path to stop waiting and start creating the life you've always wanted. Your dream will not wait. Why should you? Chapter 1. Break your dream into simple steps and start today. A dream does not exist to sit quietly in your mind. It exists to be acted upon. It is a spark, an idea that wants to become reality, but it cannot do it alone. It waits for your attention, your energy, and your deliberate action. Many people carry dreams for years and never act because the dream feels too big, too vague, or too overwhelming. The mind naturally resists large and undefined challenges. When something feels impossible, the brain looks for comfort. Comfort often looks like waiting. Waiting feels safe, but it is the enemy of every dream. Action is the antidote to delay, and breaking the dream into small, simple steps is the way to make that action practical, manageable, and real. The first requirement to make a dream come true is clarity. You must know exactly what you want and why you want it. A vague wish cannot guide your behavior. A clear goal becomes a map for your decisions and your energy. When your mind understands exactly what step comes next, hesitation disappears, fear shrinks, excuses lose power. One small, concrete step is far more valuable than 100 ideas without direction. If the dream feels too large, it becomes paralyzing. If it is broken down, it becomes attainable. Every large achievement starts with this same principle. Take one step, and then the next. Momentum is built gradually, not in leaps. Starting today is critical. Today is the only day you can act with certainty. The past no longer matters. The future is unknown. Only now can you invest energy in the things that will shape your results. Action produces proof. Proof strengthens belief. Waiting produces nothing but questions, regret, and a growing sense of I should have. The decision to begin today, no matter how small, sends a powerful message to your mind. It says, I am capable, I am committed, I will make this happen. That mental shift alone begins to create the self-confidence you need to persist through challenges. Fear is one of the strongest barriers to starting. People fear failure, judgment, or disappointment. The mind amplifies what could go wrong, which keeps many from acting. Breaking the dream into steps reduces fear because it creates clarity. A small step feels manageable. A manageable action feels safe enough to begin. Fear does not disappear, but it is no longer paralyzing. Every action you take creates evidence that you can move forward. That evidence strengthens your resolve. It shows you that the dream is possible and that you are capable of achieving it. Consistency matters more than intensity. Motivation comes and goes, but the small steps repeated day after day build habit. Habit removes reliance on fluctuating emotion. Habit ensures progress even when enthusiasm fades. One small step taken every day accumulates into real change. This is the essence of turning dreams into reality. People who achieve their goals are not always more talented or smarter than others. They are consistent. They do not wait for perfect circumstances. They act within their means. Every day, building progress step by step. Clarity also prevents overwhelm. Large goals can feel like mountains, impossible to climb. When the mind cannot see a way forward, it freezes. Breaking the dream into specific steps gives direction. Each step is achievable and measurable. It allows you to focus entirely on what needs to be done now, instead of worrying about the entire journey. That focus reduces stress and increases confidence. You gain control over your life because you are no longer reacting to ambiguity. You are acting deliberately toward a clear outcome. The first step does not need to be grand or impressive. It only needs to move you forward. Ordinary actions, when repeated and compounded, create extraordinary results. Writing one page, making one phone call, practicing one skill, or organizing one aspect of your life may feel small, but that is where progress begins. Progress produces motivation, and motivation fuels further progress. This is how dreams that once seemed distant start to feel real. Action produces feedback, which is crucial for learning. Every step you take teaches you something about the process, about yourself, and about the path ahead. That feedback informs the next step. You adjust, improve, and refine. This ongoing loop of action and reflection ensures that your steps are always moving you closer to your dream. Waiting to know the perfect way only delays progress. Action creates understanding. Understanding guides better action. Breaking a dream into steps also builds resilience. Challenges and setbacks are inevitable. Life is unpredictable, and obstacles will appear. When you have divided your goal into manageable steps, each setback feels less catastrophic. You can adjust and continue. Resilience grows because you are not trying to leap the entire distance at once. You are taking one step at a time, learning from difficulties, and continuing forward despite them. That steady progress creates confidence, courage, and endurance. Daily action transforms the way you see yourself. Starting today, taking the first step, and continuing builds identity. You begin to see yourself as someone who acts, someone who persists, someone who can create results. Identity shapes behavior. Once you begin to act consistently, your behavior reinforces your sense of capability. You start to believe in your ability to achieve what once felt impossible. That self-belief fuels further action, and the cycle continues, creating momentum that cannot be easily stopped. Clarity, small steps, and daily action also enhance decision-making. When your goal is broken down, decisions become easier. You know what matters most. You know what step to take next. You waste less time on trivial choices. Energy that would have been consumed by doubt, hesitation, or indecision is redirected toward productive work. Each small, deliberate action brings tangible results and reinforces your confidence in making future choices. Breaking your dream into steps allows for flexibility without losing progress. Life will change. Unexpected challenges will appear. By having specific steps, you can adjust as needed without abandoning your goal. Flexibility does not mean giving up. It means maintaining forward motion while adapting to reality. That ability to continue moving despite circumstances is what separates those who achieve their dreams from those who do not. Starting today strengthens self-discipline. Discipline is built through repeated action, not through occasional bursts of inspiration. The act of following a step, finishing a task, and preparing for the next step teaches your mind and body to stay committed. Over time, this repeated commitment becomes a habit. Habits are the structure on which all long-term success is built. Dreams cannot survive on intention alone. They require disciplined action. Every small step also teaches patience. Dreams are rarely achieved overnight. Big goals require time, effort, and persistence. Breaking the dream into steps allows you to see progress continuously, which reduces frustration. Patience grows because you understand that each step is part of a larger journey. You are not racing against the clock. You are building momentum in a deliberate and sustainable way. When you act today, even imperfectly, you earn trust in yourself. That trust is foundational. If you consistently follow through with small steps, you develop reliability and credibility with yourself. You prove that you can take action, despite fear, doubt, or distraction. This trust makes it easier to take future steps and increases your confidence that the dream is achievable. Small steps also encourage learning new skills and improving existing ones. Each action requires adaptation, refinement, and growth. You develop capabilities you did not have before. These capabilities compound. They equip you for challenges further down the path. Dreams that seemed impossible in the past begin to feel realistic because you have developed the skills needed to achieve them. Breaking a dream into steps reduces stress and mental fatigue. Large, undefined goals create constant pressure, anxiety, and indecision. Specific steps provide focus and direction. When you focus on what needs to be done right now, your mind is calmer, more concentrated, and more capable. Progress produces satisfaction, and satisfaction sustains effort. Over time, this approach creates a mindset that is organized, capable, and confident. The first step is also a commitment to yourself. By choosing to start today, you demonstrate that your dream matters enough to act. That commitment generates internal motivation, stronger than fleeting external encouragement. You no longer rely on luck, approval, or perfect conditions. You rely on your own deliberate action. That independence is powerful. It reinforces your sense of agency and personal responsibility for your results. Consistency, clarity, and starting today also influence others. Your actions create an example. People are drawn to those who take deliberate steps toward meaningful goals. You may find encouragement, support, or opportunities appearing as a result of your persistent effort. Influence grows naturally when people see someone who is dedicated, disciplined, and capable of taking action. Every small step creates evidence. Evidence builds confidence. Confidence strengthens commitment. Commitment fuels further action. That cycle compounds. Dreams that once felt distant begin to feel inevitable. Momentum builds quietly but powerfully, and each day of action reinforces the next. The path forward becomes increasingly clear because the first step has been taken, and subsequent steps continue to move the dream closer to reality. Breaking a dream into simple steps is not only strategic, it is psychological. The brain needs clarity, repetition, and tangible progress to stay motivated. Action produces these elements. Waiting produces doubt, anxiety, and fear. Every step creates a mental reward that strengthens perseverance. The brain begins to expect movement, progress, and achievement. In this way, starting today becomes self-reinforcing. The journey begins with a single step. That step should be small, clear, and actionable. The second step builds on the first, and the third on the second. Progress is cumulative. Dreams are achieved one deliberate action at a time, not by hoping or wishing. Every step taken today creates evidence that the dream is achievable, that you are capable, and that tomorrow can be built on a foundation of intentional action. There is no shortcut. There is no magic. There is only action, consistently applied. Taking the first step today signals a shift in identity. You are no longer just a dreamer. You are a doer. You are someone who acts despite fear, doubt, or uncertainty. That identity change transforms your behavior. You begin to make choices that align with your goals. You allocate energy, time, and focus differently. You start noticing opportunities you would have ignored before. Action changes perception, and perception shapes reality. Starting today with small steps also fosters resilience. Challenges will come, but because the dream is divided into manageable actions, obstacles feel surmountable. You can respond without panic, adjust without despair, and continue without losing momentum. This resilience reinforces confidence, strengthens commitment, and ensures that temporary setbacks do not derail long-term progress. Action generates feedback. Feedback produces learning. Learning improves skills.
Improved skills create better outcomes. Better outcomes strengthen belief. Belief sustains further action. This cycle repeats and grows. Each small, deliberate step compounds over time, moving the dream from a mental concept into a living, achievable reality. Breaking a dream into simple steps and starting today is not about perfection. It is about participation. It is about momentum. It is about trust in yourself. It is about demonstrating that you value your goals enough to act, even when conditions are not ideal and emotions fluctuate. Each action reinforces the next. Each step builds evidence. Each day of consistent effort brings the dream closer. Dreams are realized one step at a time, starting with the decision to act today.
Chapter 2. Keep your mind positive and stay emotionally strong. A strong mind and a balanced emotional state are not gifts that some people are born with. They are built intentionally over time. Every person faces challenges, difficulties, and moments when life feels heavy. The difference between those who succeed and those who struggle is not circumstance. It is how the mind is trained to perceive and respond to those circumstances. A positive mind does not ignore problems or avoid difficulties. It simply interprets experiences in a way that encourages action instead of despair. Positivity is a choice, but it is more than cheerfulness. It is clarity, resilience, and the ability to maintain focus even when emotions fluctuate. Emotional strength is cultivated in the same way. It is the capacity to feel deeply yet act deliberately, to experience stress without letting it control decisions, and to endure setbacks without losing purpose. Every day, the mind receives thousands of impressions, thoughts from the past, concerns about the future, and judgments about the present arrive in rapid succession. Many people allow these automatic thoughts to shape their mood, decisions, and interactions. A positive mind requires discipline in selecting which thoughts are nurtured and which are dismissed. It is not suppression, it is choice. Observing thoughts and determining whether they serve your goals builds mental resilience. A person who consistently practices this becomes less reactive, more intentional, and more capable of steering their own emotional state, regardless of external chaos. Emotions are signals, not commands. Anger, fear, disappointment, or anxiety can rise in response to events, but they should not dictate action. Learning to recognize the onset of an emotional reaction creates a pause between stimulus and response. In that pause, clarity emerges. A strong mind uses that clarity to decide the best course of action, aligning behavior with purpose rather than momentary feelings. Emotional mastery is rooted in understanding that feelings inform but do not control. Awareness is the first step toward regulating responses effectively, and it is built through consistent practice. The language you use with yourself shapes your mind and your resilience. People often underestimate the power of inner dialogue. Repeatedly telling yourself that a situation is hopeless, that you cannot succeed, or that problems are insurmountable primes the mind for failure. Replacing that dialogue with language that acknowledges challenges while focusing on solutions changes both thought patterns and emotional responses. The mind begins to recognize obstacles as manageable and setbacks as temporary. Emotional strength increases because the internal narrative becomes a source of guidance rather than distress. This shift is subtle but profound, influencing decisions, behavior, and the energy brought to every task. Physical state and mental state are deeply connected. Stress, tension, and fatigue influence the mind's capacity to stay positive. Simple practices like maintaining healthy movement, balanced nutrition, and sufficient rest directly support emotional strength. A mind that is exhausted is prone to negative interpretation and impulsive reactions. Conversely, a well-maintained body provides a foundation for the mind to process challenges with perspective and endurance. Emotional resilience grows when the mind and body aligned in their readiness to respond to life's demands. Challenges test positivity and emotional strength. No life is free from difficulty, and no dream is achieved without facing resistance. Maintaining a positive mind does not mean ignoring adversity. It means observing the situation, acknowledging reality, and committing to response instead of reaction. Strong emotional individuals accept difficulty without internalizing it as failure. They view challenges as information rather than judgment. This perspective allows them to remain composed and deliberate, to conserve energy for solutions rather than complaints, and to persist without unnecessary emotional depletion. Surroundings and relationships influence the mind more than most people realize. Exposure to constant negativity, criticism, or pessimism can erode positivity. Protecting the mind requires thoughtful selection of information, media, and social interaction. Engaging with people who inspire, challenge constructively, and provide support strengthens mental resilience. Emotional strength is reinforced when connections provide encouragement, accountability, and a model for calm, deliberate behavior. Conversely, repeated exposure to toxic input triggers stress, doubt, and negativity, undermining the ability to maintain clarity and focus on personal goals. Mindfulness and reflection are critical tools for maintaining a positive mindset. Taking intentional moments to observe thought patterns, emotional reactions, and habitual responses provides insight into areas that need adjustment. Reflection is not dwelling on failure. It is gathering information to make better decisions moving forward. Practicing this awareness builds both confidence and emotional stability. The mind becomes a tool rather than a master, and actions are guided by intentionality rather than reaction. Daily reflection creates a feedback loop that strengthens both perception and resilience. Preparation for emotional challenges is essential. Anticipating potential setbacks and planning responses in advance reduces the likelihood of being caught off guard. Mentally rehearsing solutions, identifying potential obstacles, and clarifying priorities equips the mind to respond calmly under pressure. When an unexpected problem arises, the emotionally strong individual recognizes the challenge without panic and acts strategically rather than impulsively. Strength grows in the repeated practice of facing challenges with preparation and focus. Gratitude strengthens positivity and resilience. A mind that consistently identifies value, progress, and lessons in every circumstance maintains perspective. Gratitude does not ignore problems. It acknowledges progress and resources available to navigate challenges. Recognizing even small wins reinforces confidence and reduces the psychological impact of setback. Emotional strength is built through habitual recognition of what is working, what is possible, and where control can be applied effectively. Decisions reinforce emotional strength. Each choice to respond calmly, thoughtfully, and intentionally solidifies the neural pathways associated with resilience. Conversely, each impulsive or reactive choice strengthens pathways that make the mind susceptible to stress and negativity. The discipline to make deliberate choices under pressure is a defining characteristic of those who sustain positivity while pursuing ambitious goals. Strength is cumulative, built one decision at a time, and each decision shapes the next. Visualization and focus complement emotional strength. Clearly imagining the desired outcome, the steps necessary, and the behavior required cultivates mental readiness. Visualization is a rehearsal of both action and emotional response. By mentally navigating challenges before they arise, the mind develops preparedness, reducing fear and impulsivity. The stronger the clarity of purpose, the more resilient the mind becomes in responding to unforeseen events without losing composure or optimism. Adaptability is a marker of both mental and emotional strength. Plans may fail, circumstances may shift, and people may respond unpredictably. Positivity and emotional balance are demonstrated not in rigid adherence to expectation, but in the capacity to adjust without losing focus. Flexibility requires observation, discernment, and controlled response. Emotional intelligence grows through repeated adaptation, reinforcing the ability to act effectively under changing conditions. Self-compassion nurtures resilience. Recognizing personal limitations, mistakes, and emotional reactions without judgment prevents self-criticism from overwhelming the mind. Individuals who respond to themselves with understanding maintain clarity, motivation, and stability. Criticism erodes confidence and fosters reactive emotion, while compassionate acknowledgement of mistakes encourages learning, adjustment, and persistence. Emotional strength is a product of repeated practice in self-understanding, correction, and intentional action. Stress management directly impacts positivity. Techniques such as deep breathing, focused attention, and structured problem-solving create space between stimulus and response. Emotional strength is reinforced when the mind is trained to pause, assess, and select the appropriate response, instead of reacting on impulse. Over time, these practices become automatic, creating a foundation for sustained composure in the face of both routine and extraordinary pressure. The stories we tell ourselves shape emotional experience. Interpreting setbacks as permanent or personal amplifies negative feelings. Reframing events as information, opportunities, or temporary challenges produces stability. Strong minds actively question automatic interpretations, assess facts, and choose the perspective that promotes constructive action. Emotional resilience grows from the conscious selection of narrative, guiding feelings rather than being guided by them. Focus on what can be controlled reinforces positivity. Dwelling on uncontrollable events or other people's actions produces frustration and despair. Concentrating effort on actions, decisions, and attitudes within one's influence generates progress and self-efficacy. Each successful engagement with controllable factors reinforces confidence, reduces anxiety, and strengthens emotional endurance. Positivity flourishes when attention is anchored to actions rather than outcomes beyond control. Routine and habit support mental and emotional stability. Daily practices that reinforce discipline, organization, and prioritization reduce uncertainty, conserve energy, and prevent reactive behavior. Predictable routines provide structure that supports the mind's capacity to remain positive under stress. Habits are repeated decisions made automatic. Emotional strength is reinforced through consistent patterns of behavior that prepare the mind for both opportunity and challenge. Seeking mentorship, guidance, or community contributes to a resilient mindset. Observing how others manage emotion, maintain focus, and sustain positivity under pressure provides models for learning. Social reinforcement, advice, and accountability amplify the development of mental and emotional skill. Isolation limits perspective and reinforces reactive habit. Engagement with constructive examples accelerates the cultivation of a balanced, capable mind. Optimism is an active practice, not a passive state. It requires deliberate attention to evidence of progress, potential for growth, and opportunities for effective action. Positivity is reinforced through repeated recognition of these factors, creating a mental habit of expectation for constructive outcomes. The stronger the focus on realistic optimism, the more emotionally resilient the individual becomes, able to maintain composure
and focus despite setbacks. Emotional strength includes the ability to manage energy. Excessive exposure to negativity, conflict, or stress depletes capacity. Awareness of emotional bandwidth and taking action to replenish it through rest, reflection, or support preserves resilience. Maintaining emotional energy is critical for decision-making, focus, and sustained action toward meaningful goals. Strength is not only a function of mental attitude, but also the conscious management of personal resources. Self-discipline and self-regulation creates the foundation for enduring positivity. Choosing to maintain composure, focus, and constructive thought, even when provoked, trains the mind and body to act from stability rather than reaction. Emotional intelligence, patience, and foresight emerge from repeated practice, building a resilient character capable of sustaining effort over time. In every challenge, there is an opportunity to reinforce mental and emotional strength. Responding calmly, focusing on solutions, managing internal dialogue, and maintaining perspective builds confidence, reinforces skill, and cultivates a mindset capable of enduring adversity. Each success compounds, producing a trajectory toward more consistent, deliberate, and constructive behavior. Over time, the mind becomes a source of strength, positivity, and clarity, capable of guiding action, even under pressure. A positive mind paired with emotional strength creates a buffer against despair, distraction, and impulsive decision-making. It allows for clear evaluation of circumstances, deliberate action, and the endurance necessary to pursue meaningful goals. Life remains unpredictable, but the individual with mental and emotional fortitude navigates it with purpose, balance, and confidence. Strength is built quietly, consistently, and deliberately, one thought, one choice, one response at a time. Over time, the repeated practice of maintaining a positive mindset and emotional stability transforms identity. A person no longer sees themselves as a victim of circumstance or a slave to mood. They become someone who acts deliberately, who responds constructively, and who shapes experience through conscious choice. That transformation provides lasting power, enabling the pursuit of dreams with clarity, persistence, and resilience.
Chapter 3. Prioritize tasks that directly impact your desired outcome. Achieving meaningful goals requires a clear understanding of what truly drives results. Many people spend their days reacting to distractions, answering emails, attending unnecessary meetings, or worrying about small tasks that contribute little to their ultimate objective. The mind becomes cluttered, energy dissipates, and progress stalls. Prioritizing tasks that directly impact the outcome you desire is the most effective way to ensure consistent advancement. It requires discipline, awareness, and a commitment to focusing on what matters most, even when other demands compete for attention. When energy is directed intentionally toward meaningful work, results accelerate. When attention is scattered, efforts yield minimal impact, no matter how hard you work. Understanding the difference between busy work and productive action is the foundation of success. Begin by identifying the tasks that have the most significant effect on your goal. It is not enough to have a list of activities. You must evaluate which actions move the needle, which ones create leverage, and which ones produce measurable results. The mind often overestimates the importance of minor tasks and underestimates the power of high-impact actions. Discernment comes from experience and reflection. When priorities are set deliberately, time becomes an ally rather than an enemy. Each day is an opportunity to make progress toward what matters most. Every choice about where to invest attention compounds over time. Time is a finite resource, and once it is spent, it cannot be recovered. Understanding this fact sharpens focus. It demands that decisions about tasks be intentional rather than reactive. People who achieve their goals understand that not all work is equal. They spend the majority of their energy on tasks that directly influence the desired result. This approach requires courage, as it often involves saying no to activities that feel urgent but are ultimately inconsequential. Discipline in prioritization allows the most important work to take precedence over the noise of daily obligations. Planning plays a critical role in prioritization. A clear plan allows you to allocate energy and attention where it produces the highest return. Without planning, the day fills with distractions, and effort is wasted. Planning does not have to be complex. It only needs to identify what will move progress forward today, tomorrow, and in the coming week. When tasks are mapped according to their impact, decision-making becomes easier. There is no constant question about what to do next, because the next action has been defined based on its contribution to results. This clarity reduces stress and increases efficiency. It is also essential to understand that not all urgent tasks are important. Many people confuse busyness with productivity. The mind is often seduced by tasks that demand immediate attention, like answering notifications or responding to minor requests. These activities create the illusion of progress, but rarely move the ultimate goal forward. Developing the ability to distinguish between urgent and important tasks ensures that energy is applied where it matters most. High performers consistently invest time in work that directly produces results, while minimizing attention to trivial matters. Focus is the practical tool that turns prioritization into results. The ability to concentrate on a task without distraction determines the quality and speed of achievement. Multitasking reduces impact, dissipates energy, and undermines clarity. By dedicating time and mental energy to one priority at a time, results compound. Concentrated effort produces more progress than scattered activity. Deep engagement in high-value work creates momentum and confidence. Distractions must be minimized to protect the integrity of focused action. Reviewing outcomes regularly reinforces effective prioritization. Reflection allows you to assess whether the tasks you are investing in are generating the expected impact. Sometimes assumptions about importance are mistaken. Regular evaluation ensures that actions remain aligned with the desired outcome. This process strengthens judgment, reinforces strategic thinking, and prevents wasted effort. High performers constantly refine their focus, eliminating activities that do not produce meaningful results, and enhancing those that do. Delegation is a tool that supports prioritization. Not every task requires your unique skill or attention. Identifying responsibilities that others can handle frees time for the actions that only you can perform. Delegation increases efficiency, reduces mental load, and allows the mind to concentrate on high-impact tasks. Trust in others is essential, but the focus on outcome ensures that delegated work aligns with broader goals. The ability to prioritize in conjunction with delegation magnifies productivity and accelerates achievement. Setting boundaries strengthens prioritization. Saying no is often difficult, but it is necessary to protect focus. Interruptions, social obligations, and minor requests can steal attention from the most critical tasks. Maintaining boundaries requires clarity about what is important and courage to act according to that clarity. By protecting time and mental energy, the mind remains capable of sustained focus, resilience, and deliberate action. Boundaries are not limitations, they are the foundation of meaningful productivity. Energy management complements task prioritization. Tasks that require high creativity, problem-solving, or decision-making should be tackled when mental energy is highest. Low-energy periods are best reserved for routine or supportive activity. Understanding natural cycles of attention and fatigue allows for strategic placement of tasks, maximizing impact. Those who align task priority with energy levels accomplish more with less strain, reducing burnout and sustaining progress over time. Prioritization also requires clarity about long-term goals. Daily tasks should be evaluated based on their contribution to overarching objectives. A task that seems insignificant in the short term may have a profound effect on long-term results. Conversely, a task that feels pressing may have negligible influence on future success. By keeping the ultimate outcome in view, decisions about task allocation become simpler, more strategic, and more effective. Every action is evaluated not by immediate satisfaction, but by lasting value. Resistance to prioritization often comes from fear. People avoid high-impact tasks because they feel difficult, uncomfortable, or uncertain. Procrastination appears when the brain anticipates challenge or potential failure. Discipline and courage overcome this resistance. Recognizing that discomfort is temporary, while impact is lasting, encourages the mind to choose meaningful action over avoidance. Overcoming this resistance builds confidence, fortitude, and trust in one's ability to achieve ambitious goals. Systems enhance prioritization by creating repeatable structures for decision-making. Tools like lists, schedules, and progress tracking provide visibility over work and reduce mental effort. When systems are in place, attention can focus on execution rather than constant evaluation. A structured approach reduces stress, ensures alignment with goals, and allows for scalability as tasks increase. Systems are the practical framework that supports deliberate and consistent prioritization. For tasks that involve collaboration, ensuring that expectations, deadlines, and responsibilities are explicit prevents wasted effort and misalignment. Miscommunication often obscures the impact of actions and drains energy. Clear articulation of goals and priorities ensures that time spent by oneself and by others produces measurable results. Effective communication reinforces the focus on high-impact tasks and amplifies collective productivity. Evaluation of results is ongoing. Prioritization is not static. Goals evolve, circumstances shift, and feedback emerges from action. Regularly reviewing progress allows adjustments to task focus, timing, and methods. Flexibility in prioritization ensures that attention continues to align with what produces the desired outcome. Stagnation in prioritization leads to wasted effort, while dynamic assessment enhances efficiency, effectiveness, and momentum. Internal motivation supports prioritization. When tasks are directly connected to meaningful goals, intrinsic motivation strengthens attention and persistence. Understanding why each action matters clarifies choices and encourages consistent effort. Motivation fuels follow-through, and follow-through produces results. People who link tasks to purpose maintain higher energy, resilience, and strategic focus than those working on disconnected or imposed activities. Purpose amplifies the impact of deliberate prioritization. Devices, notifications, and information overload compete for attention. Applying strict rules for technology use preserves focus on high-priority tasks. Technology must serve the outcome, not dictate attention. Awareness of digital distractions and deliberate management of tools ensures that energy is consistently applied to actions that directly advance objectives. Discipline with technology reinforces mental clarity, efficiency, and progress. Mental rehearsal strengthens task execution. Before acting, visualizing steps, anticipating obstacles, and identifying solutions primes the mind for effectiveness. This preparation increases accuracy, speed, and confidence. Prioritization is not only about choosing tasks, but about planning their execution to maximize impact. Mental rehearsal ensures that effort produces results efficiently, reducing wasted time and frustration. Strategic preparation reinforces the link between intention and outcome. Progress is reinforced through recording results, tracking milestones, and celebrating completed high-impact tasks provides feedback that motivates continued action. Measurement transforms abstract effort into tangible accomplishment. Tracking outcomes clarifies which actions produce the most value, informing future prioritization decisions. Momentum grows when results are recognized and leveraged to guide the next steps. Flexibility is critical when prioritizing.
Not every day goes as planned and unexpected events may appear. Strong prioritization adapts without losing focus on the main objective. It requires judgment, discernment, and commitment to the principle that high-impact tasks are non-negotiable. Flexibility does not mean compromise on priorities. It means adjusting tactics without abandoning the goal. Adaptation maintains forward motion and prevents stagnation despite changing circumstances. Reflective practice strengthens understanding of impact. After completing tasks, reviewing which actions advanced the outcome and which did not provides clarity for future effort. Learning from successes and failures sharpens judgment, improves planning, and refines decision-making. Continuous reflection ensures that prioritization becomes increasingly effective over time, increasing both efficiency and the quality of results. Discipline in prioritization builds confidence. Consistently choosing high-impact tasks demonstrates self-control, strategic thinking, and foresight. Confidence grows when results reflect deliberate action rather than random effort. This confidence fuels further commitment, resilience, and focus. Individuals who practice disciplined prioritization develop a mindset where action is purposeful, calculated, and effective, creating a foundation for long-term achievement. Avoiding perfectionism enhances prioritization. Waiting for the ideal approach or perfect timing delays meaningful action. Prioritization demands starting with what is possible, taking action, and adjusting along the way. Perfectionism wastes energy, slows progress, and reduces flexibility. Focus on high-impact action ensures that effort generates results, even if the execution is refined over time. Progress, not flawlessness, produces outcomes. Energy alignment strengthens impact. The most demanding or creative tasks should coincide with periods of peak mental and physical energy. Understanding personal rhythms ensures that high-value work receives maximum focus. Less demanding tasks should be scheduled during lower energy periods to maintain consistent productivity. Alignment of energy and priority enhances effectiveness, reduces errors, and accelerates progress. Prioritization also fosters accountability. By focusing only on tasks that matter, it becomes easier to evaluate performance honestly. Wasted effort becomes apparent and effective work is measured. Accountability motivates action, supports reflection, and reinforces the principle that results stem from deliberate choices rather than chance. Accountability ensures that progress is transparent and intentional. Strategic patience supports prioritization. Not every important action produces immediate results. Long-term outcomes require consistent attention to high-impact tasks over time. Impatience often leads to distraction or shift toward low-value work. Sustained commitment to meaningful priorities ensures that effort compounds, producing significant progress over weeks, months, and years. Patience paired with focused action yields lasting achievement. Understanding opportunity cost reinforces prioritization. Every action chosen excludes other potential activities. Recognizing that time, energy, and attention are limited emphasizes the importance of selecting tasks that produce the greatest return. This awareness creates clarity, focus, and intentionality. People who consistently evaluate opportunity cost become more disciplined, efficient, and results-oriented, maximizing impact on desired outcomes. Prioritization is a skill that strengthens with practice. Each day of conscious focus, decision-making, and alignment with results increases competence. The mind learns to recognize patterns, predict outcomes, and select actions that matter. Over time, this skill becomes second nature, allowing individuals to act effectively under pressure, manage distractions, and achieve ambitious goals consistently. Practice builds mastery, and mastery ensures progress. The cumulative effect of prioritizing high-impact tasks transforms results. Consistent focus on what truly matters leads to compounding outcomes, accelerated progress, and meaningful achievement. Those who master this principle gain clarity, energy, and influence over their own life. Each decision to focus on what counts directly moves them toward the life they envision, producing results that are disproportionate to the effort invested in random or trivial activity.
Chapter 4. Keep showing up every day until dreams become reality. Consistency is the bridge between ambition and achievement. Every person with a dream has felt the thrill of inspiration and the pull of possibility, but inspiration alone rarely leads to lasting results. The dream that lives only in imagination fades quickly without repeated action. Showing up every single day is the real engine of progress. It is easy to work hard when motivation is high, when energy is abundant, or when results are visible. The challenge, the true test, comes when circumstances are difficult, the mind is tired, and results are slow to appear. This is when persistence separates those who succeed from those who remain stagnant. Every day presents an opportunity to move closer to your goal, and each day that passes without action is an opportunity lost. Daily commitment builds momentum that cannot be replicated in bursts of activity. Sporadic effort produces irregular outcomes, frustration, and the temptation to give up. Steady engagement, even in small increments, accumulates into substantial progress over time. Showing up consistently strengthens habits, builds skill, and reinforces identity. When action becomes routine, it requires less mental energy to begin each day, and progress accelerates naturally. People often underestimate the compounding power of daily effort. Small, consistent steps produce results that far surpass occasional bursts of intense activity. Persistence is not glamorous, but it is decisive. Mindset shapes the capacity to show up repeatedly. Challenges, setbacks, and failures are inevitable in the pursuit of any meaningful goal. A resilient mindset recognizes these difficulties as temporary, learning experiences rather than permanent obstacles. Viewing failure as a signal to adjust rather than an endpoint sustains engagement. Emotional endurance is necessary because not every day will feel productive, and not every action will yield immediate visible results. Showing up daily requires more than physical effort. It requires mental and emotional readiness. The mind must be prepared to engage despite uncertainty, discomfort, and fatigue. Discipline is cultivated through routine. Consistency is not about waiting for motivation to arrive, it is about committing to the process regardless of feelings. Motivation fluctuates, energy ebbs and flows, and circumstances change. Those who wait for ideal conditions rarely achieve ambitious goals. The decision to act every day, even in small ways, creates the foundation of progress. Each day's effort reinforces a pattern of reliability, builds confidence, and strengthens character. Discipline becomes the engine that drives dreams toward reality. Focus amplifies the impact of daily effort. Simply showing up is not enough if attention is scattered across low-value activities. Each day's action should be purposeful, aligned with the larger goal, and aimed at producing meaningful outcomes. By concentrating on the tasks that matter most, energy is applied efficiently and results accumulate faster. Attention to detail, mindful engagement, and deliberate action ensure that daily presence produces measurable advancement rather than busy work. Quality combined with consistency accelerates progress and solidifies skill. Tracking progress reinforces motivation and maintains perspective. Daily engagement is easier to sustain when achievements, no matter how small, are recognized. Recording actions, reviewing milestones, and celebrating incremental wins provide tangible evidence that effort is producing results. This feedback fuels perseverance, even during periods when outcomes seem slow. People often abandon dreams because the results of consistent effort are subtle in the short term. Monitoring progress illuminates the path forward, encourages continued effort, and strengthens belief in eventual success. Resilience is strengthened by routine. Obstacles will arise, setbacks are certain, and fatigue will test commitment. Daily engagement builds the capacity to endure these difficulties without losing direction. The habit of showing up consistently trains the mind and body to overcome resistance, normalize effort under pressure, and approach challenges methodically. Over time, what once felt difficult or uncomfortable becomes manageable. Resilience grows not in isolation, but through repeated action, facing challenges each day, and maintaining dedication despite adversity. Preparation enhances the effectiveness of daily commitment. Each day should be approached with a plan for meaningful action. Knowing which tasks to tackle, how to execute them, and what resources are required, reduces wasted effort and enhances productivity. Preparation does not eliminate uncertainty, but it strengthens the ability to respond intelligently to obstacles. A structured approach ensures that showing up is not random activity, but deliberate movement toward the dream. The combination of consistency and preparation produces momentum that compounds over time. Accountability reinforces the habit of showing up. Sharing goals with others, reporting progress, or having a system of checks and balances increases commitment. Knowing that effort is observed and that progress is tracked motivates consistent engagement. Accountability structures support the development of discipline and resilience by making daily effort visible and consequent. Individuals who maintain accountability are less likely to skip action, rationalize avoidance, or abandon long-term objectives in the face of temporary discomfort. Adaptability sustains daily action when circumstances change. Life is unpredictable, and rigid adherence to plans may be disrupted by unexpected challenges. Showing up every day requires flexibility in execution while maintaining focus on the ultimate objective. Adaptable individuals adjust tactics, timelines, or approaches without losing sight of the goal. Persistence is not blind repetition, it is intelligent, deliberate, and resilient engagement that adapts to reality while honoring commitment. Adaptability ensures that consistency remains possible, even in changing conditions. Emotional regulation supports sustained effort. Each day will bring moments of frustration, doubt, and discouragement. The ability to manage these emotions determines whether persistence continues or falters. Strong emotional habits allow individuals to maintain focus, remain calm under pressure, and approach challenges rationally. Daily engagement strengthens emotional endurance by normalizing discomfort, building tolerance for stress, and fostering confidence in the ability to overcome obstacles. Emotional stability transforms persistence into reliable action rather than erratic bursts of effort. Visualization enhances daily engagement. Seeing the desired outcome clearly in the mind's eye creates motivation, guides action, and reinforces purpose. Visualizing success before taking action aligns daily tasks with long-term objectives and makes the path forward tangible. Each day's effort becomes a deliberate step toward a clearly imagined reality, reducing ambiguity and increasing focus. Visualization strengthens the connection between effort and outcome, motivating consistent action and sustaining engagement during difficult periods. Reflection strengthens consistency. Taking time each day to review progress, identify improvements, and adjust tactics ensures that effort remains productive. Reflection is not a break from action, but a tool to refine it. By analyzing what works and what does not, individuals improve efficiency, effectiveness, and strategic alignment. Daily reflection prevents stagnation, ensures that effort produces results, and deepens understanding of how small actions accumulate into significant progress. Learning from each day's experience strengthens the habit of showing up. Patience is necessary to maintain engagement over the long term. Dreams rarely manifest overnight, and visible results may lag behind effort. Patience allows individuals to persist without frustration, maintain energy, and continue performing tasks that may feel unrewarding in the short term.
Daily presence is an investment, and patience ensures that the investment is sustained until outcomes emerge. Recognizing that time and repeated effort are allies prevents premature abandonment and reinforces commitment. Self-care supports the habit of showing up. Physical health, rest and mental well-being impact the ability to engage consistently. Neglecting energy, nutrition, or sleep reduces capacity, motivation, and focus. Maintaining personal well-being ensures that daily effort is sustainable and effective. Long-term persistence is only possible when the mind and body are prepared to handle repeated demands. Self-care is not indulgence, it is preparation for consistent action toward meaningful goals. Prioritization complements daily commitment. Not all actions produce equal results, and showing up requires focusing on the activities that drive the most significant progress. Identifying high-impact tasks, allocating energy appropriately, and minimizing time spent on low-value activities ensures that daily engagement produces meaningful outcomes. Combining consistency with strategic focus accelerates the path toward the desired reality, making each day count toward measurable advancement. Mindful awareness strengthens persistence. Paying attention to distractions, emotional reactions, and habitual tendencies prevents derailment from the daily routine. Awareness allows the mind to correct drift, refocus attention, and maintain alignment with goals. Habits of mindfulness enhance resilience by providing clarity in the face of challenges, reinforcing intentionality, and sustaining energy for repeated engagement. Being present ensures that effort is both productive and deliberate. Learning from setbacks reinforces commitment. Obstacles will inevitably appear, and the ability to respond constructively determines long-term success. Treating each setback as information rather than judgment encourages continued action. Daily engagement transforms challenges into lessons, builds experience, and strengthens confidence. Individuals who persist despite difficulty accumulate both skill and understanding, enhancing the probability of eventual achievement. Setbacks are temporary deviations, not reasons to stop showing up. The sense of progress is reinforced by measurable outcomes. Tracking results, recording milestones, and observing incremental improvement reinforces the value of daily effort. This tangible evidence provides motivation, strengthens belief, and encourages continued engagement. Without visible markers, the mind may question whether persistence is effective. Measurement bridges effort with outcome, reinforcing the habit of consistent action and sustaining commitment over time. Support networks amplify consistency. Collaborating with mentors, peers, or like-minded individuals provides accountability, encouragement, and perspective. Engagement becomes easier when shared with others who understand the value of persistence. Support systems reduce isolation, normalize challenges, and provide reinforcement for daily action. Interaction with a network focused on consistent progress enhances motivation, provides guidance, and strengthens resilience, making it easier to maintain effort over time. Confidence grows through repeated action. Each day of showing up, facing challenges, and completing meaningful tasks reinforces belief in personal capability. Confidence motivates further effort, reduces hesitation, and strengthens mental endurance. By continuously demonstrating ability through action, individuals internalize their competence, creating a feedback loop that encourages even greater persistence. Confidence is cultivated in the repetition of deliberate, purposeful engagement. Accountability to oneself is equally important. Internal commitment ensures that effort is maintained even when external pressure is absent. Self-discipline, reflection, and evaluation foster personal responsibility for progress. Daily engagement becomes a personal contract, reinforcing integrity and determination. Individuals who honor their own standards of consistency develop reliability, fortitude, and independence, ensuring progress toward their dreams, even without external oversight.
Chapter 5. Plan simple steps. and follow them without excuses. Success is rarely a sudden event. Dreams do not materialize through grand gestures or sporadic effort. Instead, they are built incrementally, one deliberate action at a time. The principle of planning simple steps and following them without excuses is the most reliable method to turn vision into reality. Complexity creates confusion, hesitation, and delay. When the mind is faced with overwhelming tasks or unclear strategies, procrastination becomes easy and progress stalls. By breaking goals into manageable, concrete steps, the path forward becomes clear and approachable. Simplicity allows focus, reinforces consistency, and reduces the mental barriers that prevent action. Every step, no matter how small, moves the dream closer to realization when executed with discipline and commitment. Clarity begins with defining exactly what you want to achieve. Goals that are vague or abstract generate uncertainty and indecision. When objectives are defined in clear, measurable terms, it becomes easier to identify the specific steps required to achieve them. This clarity allows the mind to allocate energy efficiently and prevents wasted effort on unrelated activities. Each action should be purposeful, contributing directly to the larger objective. Understanding the exact outcome desired eliminates ambiguity and ensures that every step taken has a meaningful impact. Breaking a goal into simple steps requires honest assessment of what is necessary. People often overestimate what must be done at once, creating a sense of overwhelm. By isolating the smallest effective actions that move the process forward, progress becomes achievable and motivating. A single step, when executed consistently, builds momentum. Each completed step reinforces confidence and demonstrates that progress is possible. The brain responds positively to tangible accomplishment, fueling further action and strengthening commitment. Simplicity reduces friction, making it easier to start, continue, and sustain effort over time. Consistency in following these steps is non-negotiable. Plans are meaningless without execution. Many individuals create detailed strategies but fail to implement them fully due to excuses, distractions, or self-doubt. Excuses are the enemy of achievement because they delay action and erode confidence. Recognizing excuses for what they are, temporary justifications for inaction, empowers the mind to act despite discomfort, uncertainty, or fear. Commitment to action reinforces accountability, strengthens self-discipline, and ensures that steps are completed in alignment with the goal. Daily execution compounds into results far beyond isolated efforts. Accountability reinforces the habit of execution. Committing to actions in a measurable way, recording progress and evaluating outcomes, creates responsibility to oneself and to others. Accountability strengthens determination and discourages rationalization. When steps are documented and tracked, momentum becomes visible and progress becomes undeniable. Individuals who consistently honor their commitments develop resilience, reliability, and trust in their own ability to produce results. Accountability transforms abstract intentions into concrete achievements. Preparation enhances follow-through. Each step should be understood, planned, and supported by appropriate resources. Uncertainty about how to act is a common source of hesitation and excuses. By preparing ahead, individuals ensure that actions are deliberate rather than reactive. Preparation involves understanding what success in each step looks like, anticipating obstacles, and determining how to respond when challenges arise. When preparation is thorough, the execution of steps becomes smoother, faster, and more effective. The mind approaches tasks with confidence rather than apprehension, reducing avoidance and enhancing consistency. Discipline sustains action even when motivation falters. Motivation fluctuates naturally, but commitment to following steps requires a steadier force. Discipline is the internal agreement to act according to the plan regardless of feelings, fatigue, or external circumstances. Habits are built through repeated execution, and discipline converts intention into practice. Each completed step reinforces the habit of following through, creating a momentum that becomes self-reinforcing. Discipline is the mechanism that transforms planning into tangible results over time. Focus ensures that effort produces meaningful outcomes. Completing tasks without consideration of their relevance or alignment with the goal results in wasted energy. Each step should be evaluated in terms of its direct contribution to the desired outcome. Mindful attention to the highest impact actions prevents effort from being diluted across low-value activities. Focused execution strengthens efficiency, maximizes return on effort, and accelerates progress. When the mind concentrates on clearly defined actions, the path forward becomes more visible, obstacles are more easily overcome, and results compound rapidly. Flexibility enhances the effectiveness of planning. While steps should be simple and deliberate, rigidity can prevent adaptation to changing circumstances. External factors, unexpected challenges, or new opportunities may require slight adjustments in approach. Flexibility does not diminish commitment. It allows for intelligent modification while keeping the end goal in sight. The combination of simplicity, consistent action, and adaptive thinking ensures that progress is continuous, even in dynamic or unpredictable environments. The ability to adjust without abandoning steps strengthens resilience and maintains momentum. Avoiding perfectionism is essential. Waiting for ideal conditions, flawless execution, or complete confidence often delays action indefinitely. Progress is created through imperfect action, learning and refinement. Each step executed without unnecessary delay builds experience, improves skill, and clarifies the next move. Perfectionism disguises fear as preparation, slowing advancement and fostering frustration. Embracing simplicity and immediacy ensures that effort produces results, and learning occurs naturally through doing. Action, even if imperfect, outweighs inaction every time. Visualization strengthens commitment to each step. Seeing the desired result vividly in the mind provides clarity about why each action matters. When steps are connected to a clear vision of success, the mind remains engaged, motivated, and resilient in the face of obstacles. Visualizing progress in advance enhances execution, reduces uncertainty, and reinforces alignment between daily actions and long-term goals. Each step is not random. It is an intentional move toward a clearly defined reality, making execution more confident and consistent. Reflection reinforces learning from action. After completing steps, reviewing performance, assessing outcomes, and identifying improvements ensures that each future step is more effective. Reflection transforms experience into knowledge and prevents repeated mistakes. It deepens understanding of what works, what doesn't, and how to optimize execution. This ongoing feedback loop strengthens competence, reduces wasted effort, and ensures that simple steps remain impactful. Reflection is a companion to action, amplifying results and sustaining growth. Prioritization strengthens the impact of steps. Not all actions have equal value. Identifying which steps produce the highest return allows energy to be directed efficiently. Prioritizing meaningful steps over trivial tasks ensures that effort consistently advances the desired outcome. Each day's actions should be evaluated based on contribution, impact, and alignment with the goal. Prioritization prevents drift, keeps attention focused, and maximizes the return on energy invested. High-impact steps accelerate progress far more effectively than scattered effort. Persistence reinforces the habit of execution. Initial attempts may encounter difficulty, mistakes, or delays.
Consistent follow-through ensures that these obstacles do not derail progress. Each step repeated strengthens skill, builds confidence, and reinforces the principle that persistence produces results. Temporary setbacks are information, not failure. Following through despite resistance, doubt, or challenge demonstrates commitment and produces compounding momentum. Persistence transforms simple steps into measurable achievement over time. Energy management supports sustained action. Steps that require creativity, focus, or decision-making should coincide with periods of peak mental and physical energy. Routine or supportive tasks can be scheduled during lower energy periods to maintain consistent productivity. Awareness of energy cycles prevents burnout and ensures that daily steps are executed with quality and attention. Proper alignment of effort and energy enhances effectiveness, reduces mistakes, and strengthens the habit of continuous action. Support systems reinforce execution. Sharing progress with mentors, peers, or accountability partners strengthens commitment. External validation, encouragement, and guidance provide reinforcement and perspective. Collaboration ensures that steps are not taken in isolation, increasing consistency and quality of execution. Engaging with others who understand the value of deliberate action enhances motivation, reduces isolation, and increases resilience when challenges arise. Support networks amplify the power of disciplined action. Measurement provides clarity and reinforces tracking steps, recording milestones, and observing progress makes the results of effort tangible. Quantifying achievement transforms abstract action into evidence of progress. Measurement informs adjustments, reinforces motivation, and sustains engagement. When individuals can see the direct link between action and progress, commitment deepens, and excuses diminish. Accountability, reflection, and measurement form a continuous cycle of improvement that strengthens results. Self-belief drives execution. Trusting that action will produce results encourages consistent engagement with each step. Doubt undermines commitment, delays action, and encourages rationalization. Belief in the process, reinforced by evidence of prior success, empowers the mind to act decisively. Confidence and clarity strengthen discipline, focus, and persistence. Each step executed reinforces trust in personal capability and the reliability of deliberate effort. Time management maximizes impact. Allocating specific periods for each step ensures consistent attention and prevents neglect. Planning when, where, and how to execute tasks reduces uncertainty and supports focused action. Time becomes a structured resource rather than a source of stress. Intentional scheduling of high-priority steps protects progress and reinforces habit formation, making the pursuit of the dream more predictable and sustainable. Learning from feedback enhances refinement. Each step produces information about what works and what does not. Actively incorporating lessons strengthens future actions, improves efficiency, and increases the likelihood of success. Feedback, both internal and external, transforms simple action into increasingly effective practice. Each iteration builds skill, competence, and clarity, reinforcing the principle that deliberate execution produces tangible results.
Chapter 6. Learn new skills that make your dream easier. Achieving a dream requires more than desire. Talent alone is rarely enough. Opportunity alone is rarely enough. What separates those who reach their goals from those who stall is the ability to acquire new skills that make the journey easier. Skills are tools that transform effort into results. Each skill learned adds leverage, making tasks more efficient, challenges more manageable, and solutions more accessible. Dreams are often slowed, not by lack of effort, but by lack of knowledge, experience, or capability. By deliberately learning and applying new skills, the path to success becomes less daunting, progress accelerates, and confidence grows. Every skill acquired is an investment that multiplies the value of future effort. The first step in learning a new skill is identifying what is most relevant. Skills should directly support progress toward the desired outcome. Random or unrelated skills may enrich the mind, but do not advance the specific dream. Focus on capabilities that reduce obstacles, increase efficiency, or unlock opportunities. Analyze the process required to achieve the goal, and determine where gaps in knowledge or ability create friction. By targeting learning strategically, effort is maximized, and time spent acquiring skill yields tangible returns. Precision in skill selection ensures that every hour invested produces measurable advantage. Commitment to constant practice is essential. Learning is not instantaneous, and mastery requires repeated effort over time. Reading about a skill or watching tutorials provides understanding, but real competence emerges only through doing. Daily practice, incremental challenges, and intentional repetition strengthen retention and capability. Each session builds proficiency, reinforces understanding, and reduces the effort required to perform the skill in real-world situations. The cumulative effect of consistent practice compounds, producing results that are often dramatic over months and years. Seeking guidance accelerates learning. Mentors, instructors, and experts provide insights that reduce trial and error. Observing how someone with experience navigates tasks reveals shortcuts, nuances, and strategies that might take months to discover independently. Feedback from knowledgeable sources prevents the reinforcement of mistakes and sharpens execution. Constructive critique highlights areas for improvement that are invisible to self-assessment. When learning a new skill, guidance bridges the gap between theoretical knowledge and practical competence, transforming effort into meaningful progress more efficiently. Breaking complex skills into smaller components simplifies the learning process. Large or difficult tasks can appear intimidating and stall action. Deconstructing skills into manageable parts allows incremental mastery and prevents overwhelm. Each component mastered builds confidence and competence, providing immediate feedback that reinforces progress. Small wins motivate continued effort and maintain engagement. Mastery of individual elements naturally integrates into overall skill, making the process systematic rather than haphazard. Step-by-step learning ensures sustainable growth and strengthens the foundation for long-term achievement. Application reinforces retention. Learning a skill in isolation has limited value if it is not applied to real-world situations. Actively using new knowledge transforms understanding into practical capability. Application tests comprehension, reveals gaps, and strengthens confidence. By connecting theory with practice, individuals internalize skills, making execution smoother and more intuitive. Each opportunity to apply knowledge accelerates proficiency and reduces resistance when facing similar challenges in the pursuit of the dream. Practical use converts learning into tangible leverage for progress. Adaptability is a necessary companion to skill acquisition. The world is dynamic, and situations rarely conform perfectly to what has been learned. Skills must be flexible and transferable, capable of being applied creatively to unexpected challenges. Learning multiple approaches within a single skill area builds resilience and prepares individuals for diverse scenarios. Adaptable skills reduce dependency on a narrow path, increase problem-solving capability, and enhance confidence when confronting obstacles. The ability to adjust learned techniques to real circumstances ensures that effort remains productive even under uncertainty. Curiosity fuels growth. Maintaining an inquisitive mindset keeps learning continuous and relevant. Curiosity drives exploration of new methods, tools, and strategies that can improve efficiency and results. Individuals who actively seek knowledge are more likely to notice opportunities for improvement, discover innovative solutions, and expand their capabilities. Curiosity prevents stagnation, encourages experimentation, and sustains engagement. The pursuit of skills is not limited to formal instruction, but includes observation, reading, questioning, and testing. A curious mind transforms learning from obligation into a motivating and self-sustaining habit. Reflection consolidates understanding. After learning and applying a skill, reviewing performance deepens comprehension. Reflecting on what worked, what failed, and what could be improved creates awareness and sharpens future execution. Self-assessment ensures that effort builds cumulative competence rather than repeating mistakes. Reflection also encourages refinement of techniques, integration of new insights, and alignment with the ultimate goal. By making learning intentional and conscious, individuals ensure that skills acquired contribute meaningfully to progress and long-term effectiveness. Time management optimizes learning. Skills require consistent investment of energy and focus. Scheduling deliberate practice, allocating periods of concentrated effort, and prioritizing high-impact learning activities ensure that skill development is productive. Avoiding distractions, minimizing low-value tasks, and committing to focused sessions accelerates mastery. When time is used deliberately, progress becomes measurable and confidence grows. Structured allocation of effort transforms learning from sporadic activity into a reliable system for improvement, ensuring that each day contributes meaningfully to competence and goal achievement. Resilience is built through challenges encountered during learning. Mistakes, setbacks, and frustration are inherent in acquiring new skills. Instead of discouraging action, these experiences provide essential lessons about process, strategy, and adaptability. Confronting difficulty develops mental toughness, patience, and problem-solving capability. Skills gained under pressure are more durable and flexible, preparing individuals for the inevitable challenges of real-world application. Embracing obstacles as part of the learning journey strengthens confidence and reinforces commitment to consistent progress. Integration of skills creates leverage. Acquiring complementary abilities enhances the effectiveness of individual skills. For example, mastering communication improves the impact of leadership skills, while financial knowledge enhances entrepreneurial effort. The combination of related skills multiplies capability and reduces inefficiency. Integration ensures that effort is applied intelligently across multiple dimensions, maximizing progress. Individuals who focus on building synergistic skill sets gain advantage by increasing adaptability, competence, and confidence simultaneously. Skill combinations accelerate results beyond what isolated abilities can achieve. Sharing progress with mentors, peers, or accountability partners provides external reinforcement and encouragement. Reporting challenges, seeking advice, and demonstrating improvement strengthens motivation and reinforces habit. Accountability ensures that effort is consistent, deliberate, and focused on meaningful outcomes. It also provides perspective, exposing blind spots and opportunities that may be overlooked during independent learning. External accountability complements internal commitment, creating a more robust system for skill acquisition and application. Confidence grows through competence. Each new skill mastered expands the perception of what is possible. Confidence fuels further action, reduces hesitation, and sustains engagement. As abilities grow, challenges that once seemed daunting become manageable. Confidence, derived from tangible capability, is more reliable than temporary motivation or enthusiasm. By systematically acquiring and applying skills, individuals build a foundation of self-assuredness that propels consistent action toward their dreams. Continuous improvement ensures skills remain relevant and effective. Learning is not a one-time event, but a lifelong process. As circumstances change, technologies advance, and challenges evolve, skills must adapt.
Regularly updating knowledge, refining techniques, and exploring advanced strategies maintains effective. Continuous improvement prevents obsolescence, keeps performance high, and strengthens resilience in the face of change. A commitment to ongoing development ensures that skills continue to serve the pursuit of the dream efficiently. Mindset influences skill acquisition. Belief in the ability to learn and grow determines effort, persistence, and engagement. A fixed mindset limits exploration and reduces initiative. Embracing a growth-oriented perspective encourages experimentation, tolerates mistakes as learning, and maintains enthusiasm during challenging periods. Mindset shapes attention, effort, and resilience. The confident expectation that effort will yield skill strengthens commitment and ensures that time invested translates into measurable capability. Curated resources accelerate learning. Selecting high-quality instruction, relevant materials, and structured guidance reduces wasted effort and increases effectiveness. Books, courses, workshops, and mentors provide direction, structure, and best practices. Proper selection ensures that learning is focused, efficient, and applicable. Resourcefulness maximizes the return on investment of time and energy, ensuring that each step contributes directly to the goal. Strategic use of resources accelerates skill development and enhances real-world application. Application to real-world scenarios ensures relevance. Skills are most valuable when they solve practical challenges or facilitate progress toward the dream. Simulated exercises, problem solving, and project-based practice integrate learning with tangible outcomes. Application strengthens retention, builds confidence, and enhances adaptability. By connecting skills to meaningful action, individuals create leverage that transforms effort into results. Skills become functional tools rather than abstract knowledge, directly advancing the journey toward success. Self-reflection enhances the depth of learning. Reviewing progress, recognizing improvements, and identifying gaps encourages continuous growth. Self-reflection connects effort with outcomes, clarifies priorities, and fosters strategic insight. The practice reinforces intentionality in skill acquisition, ensuring that energy is applied purposefully rather than randomly. Reflection strengthens judgment, reinforces learning, and provides a roadmap for future development. Persistence, through difficulty, solidifies mastery. Skill development is rarely linear. Frustration, mistakes, and plateaus are common. Continued effort, despite challenges, ensures that abilities grow stronger and more reliable. Persistence fosters problem-solving capability, mental toughness, and adaptability. Each obstacle overcome during the learning process reinforces belief in one's capacity to succeed and builds momentum that accelerates the path toward the dream.
Chapter 7. Face every fear and keep moving forward confidently. Fear is a signal, not a stop sign. Everyone encounters fear when pursuing something meaningful. Fear emerges because the brain detects uncertainty, risk, or potential failure. It is a natural response, designed to alert, not to paralyze. Yet, allowing fear to dictate action guarantees stagnation. Progress, achievement, and personal growth are found on the other side of discomfort. The ability to face every fear and continue moving forward confidently separates those who achieve their dreams from those who remain stuck in hesitation. Courage is not the absence of fear, but the decision to act despite it. Each time action is taken in the presence of fear, the mind becomes stronger, more resilient, and more capable of handling challenges. Understanding fear is the first step in confronting it. Fear often feels like a wall, overwhelming and immovable, but it is primarily mental. Identifying the specific source of fear clarifies what must be addressed. Is it fear of failure, judgment, loss, or uncertainty? By naming fear, its power diminishes and a practical approach emerges. Clarity allows the mind to separate fact from perception, revealing that most fears are smaller than they initially appear. Fear is only paralyzing when it remains undefined or unexamined. Confronting fear requires observation, honesty, and acknowledgement of the sensations, thoughts, and predictions it generates. Preparation strengthens confidence in the face of fear. Knowledge, planning, and skill reduce uncertainty and increase the likelihood of success. The unknown is intimidating, but preparation provides a framework to act decisively. Practicing scenarios, rehearsing responses, and anticipating obstacles transforms fear into manageable awareness. Confidence grows when action is backed by competence. Each step taken with preparation reinforces the belief that challenges can be overcome, reducing the grip of fear over time. Being ready does not eliminate fear entirely, but it equips the mind to face it with strength and clarity. Action is the antidote to fear. Delaying response allows fear to grow unchecked, creating a false sense of danger and inflating risk. Moving forward, even in small steps, interrupts this cycle. Action creates evidence that fear does not define reality. Each step taken toward the goal generates momentum, diminishes anxiety, and builds confidence. Courage grows cumulatively. Repeated action transforms apprehension into experience. People often overestimate the consequences of inaction and underestimate the power of simple, decisive steps. Momentum provides energy that fear cannot match. Mindset shapes the response to fear. Viewing challenges as opportunities rather than threats shifts perception and reduces the emotional weight of fear. A proactive mindset focuses on solutions, learning, and progress instead of dwelling on potential negatives. Confidence is a product of perspective and choice. When the mind is trained to see possibilities and recognize capability, fear becomes a guide rather than a barrier. Reframing fear as a natural part of growth encourages action and strengthens resilience. Visualization empowers movement through fear. Imagining successful navigation of the challenge prepares the mind emotionally and mentally. Visualization aligns focus, reduces uncertainty, and clarifies the steps required to advance. The brain interprets vividly imagined scenarios as practice, creating familiarity and reducing perceived risk. Anticipating success in detail enhances readiness, improves decision-making, and reinforces confidence. The more clearly the desired outcome is pictured, the easier it becomes to act despite fear. Gradual exposure builds tolerance to discomfort. Facing fear does not require jumping into extremes immediately. Incremental challenges allow the mind to adapt progressively. Each small encounter strengthens emotional resilience and prepares individuals for larger tests. Repeated exposure reduces avoidance behavior, increases competence, and normalizes discomfort. Confidence grows through experience. By taking measured risks and expanding comfort zones steadily, fear loses its ability to immobilize, and action becomes natural. Self-talk influences courage. The internal dialogue can either amplify fear or reinforce confidence. Replacing doubt, criticism, or catastrophic thinking with affirming, rational, and encouraging thoughts prepares the mind to act decisively. Repetition of constructive self-talk rewires response patterns and reduces hesitation. Mindful attention to language ensures that fear does not dominate perception or decision-making. Speaking to oneself with clarity, honesty, and encouragement strengthens determination and supports sustained forward movement. Support systems enhance resilience. Engaging mentors, peers, or advisors provides perspective, encouragement, and guidance. Hearing how others have faced similar fears builds belief in personal capability. Support networks offer reassurance, insight, and practical strategies to navigate challenges. Accountability from others reinforces action, while shared experience reduces isolation. Facing fear is difficult alone, but collaboration amplifies courage, provides resources, and demonstrates that obstacles can be overcome. People who surround themselves with proactive and experienced individuals gain confidence through example and advice. Reflection strengthens understanding and growth. After confronting fear, analyzing the experience provides insight into patterns, triggers, and strategies for improvement. Reflection allows learning from mistakes, recognizing progress, and reinforcing effective behavior. Each encounter with fear becomes a lesson in resilience, decision-making, and emotional control. By reviewing experiences deliberately, the mind internalizes success strategies, reduces repeated errors, and builds confidence for future challenges. Reflection converts fear into education and action into wisdom. Physical awareness supports emotional control. Fear manifests in the body through tension, rapid heartbeat, shallow breathing, and muscle tightness. Recognizing these signals allows conscious management of physiological responses. Controlled breathing, posture adjustment, and relaxation techniques reduce the intensity of fear, enabling clearer thinking and deliberate action. The body and mind are interconnected. Managing one influences the other. Awareness and regulation of physical responses create a foundation for mental strength, enhancing the ability to face challenges with composure. Patience strengthens resilience in fear. Progress often unfolds gradually, and confronting fears repeatedly is a long-term process. Impatience generates frustration, heightens anxiety, and increases the likelihood of avoidance. Accepting that mastery over fear is a gradual journey allows persistence, reduces emotional turbulence, and reinforces commitment to growth. Steady advancement builds durable confidence that persists across diverse challenges. Learning from failure diminishes fear. Experiencing setbacks provides practical knowledge, refines strategy, and exposes areas for improvement. Fear is often fueled by uncertainty about capability or consequence. Each failure faced and analyzed produces insight and strengthens skill. Knowledge gained through experience reduces apprehension and builds competence. By reframing failure as a step in the process, fear is transformed from an obstacle into a tool for learning, growth, and preparation. Resilience is reinforced by repetition. The more frequently fear is confronted, the more predictable and manageable it becomes. Repeated engagement develops a mental pattern of action despite discomfort. Courage is trained through practice, and confidence becomes habitual. Avoidance diminishes resilience, while consistent action in challenging situations strengthens endurance and mental fortitude. Repetition embeds competence and self-assurance into behavior. Focus ensures energy is directed effectively. Fear can scatter attention, magnify minor risks, and distract from objectives. Concentrated effort on actionable steps allows progress to continue despite emotional turbulence. A clear plan for moving forward anchors the mind, reduces chaos, and strengthens execution. Focusing on controllable actions rather than imagined worst-case scenarios minimizes paralysis and accelerates achievement. Adaptability enhances confidence. Fear often arises from unexpected circumstances. Those who cultivate flexible thinking and the ability to respond intelligently to new information or changing conditions reduce vulnerability to emotional paralysis. Adaptable individuals maintain momentum, adjust strategies, and continue advancing even when challenges shift unexpected. Flexibility in thought and action transforms fear into manageable temporary resistance rather than an insurmountable obstacle. Accountability reinforces courage. Making commitments to oneself or others increases the likelihood of action. Fear is less likely to prevent progress when individuals feel responsible for following through. Accountability provides motivation, direction, and a structured framework for consistent effort. Sharing progress and setbacks with trusted individuals reinforces engagement and encourages perseverance. Emotional regulation is central to moving confidently through fear.
Strong emotional habits allow the mind to observe fear without being dominated by it. Recognizing emotional reactions, separating impulse from reason, and responding deliberately enable decisive action. Mastery over emotions enhances judgment, prevents rash decisions, and supports sustained forward momentum. Confidence grows from accumulated evidence of action. Each step taken despite fear demonstrates capability and reinforces self-belief. Gradual accumulation of successful experiences diminishes apprehension over time and strengthens mental resilience. Confidence, like courage, is developed, not inherited. Tangible evidence of repeated forward movement is more persuasive than abstract optimism. Self-awareness supports strategic decision-making in the face of fear. Understanding personal limitations, strengths, and tendencies informs realistic planning and preparation. Awareness of how fear influences thought and behavior enables targeted strategies to reduce its impact. The combination of knowledge, preparation, and action fosters confidence and consistent progress. Purpose anchors courage. When actions are connected to meaningful goals, fear is reframed as an obstacle to overcome, rather than an insurmountable threat. A strong sense of purpose provides motivation, sustains energy, and maintains commitment during challenging moments. Purpose-driven action makes forward movement inevitable, even when fear is present.
Chapter 8. Track your progress and adjust your actions constantly. Progress cannot be left to chance. Dreams demand action, but action without observation produces inconsistent results. Tracking progress and adjusting actions constantly is the cornerstone of achieving meaningful goals. People often assume that effort alone guarantees success, yet without clear feedback, there is no way to know whether what is being done is effective or wasted. Constant monitoring of results provides awareness, focus, and the opportunity to improve strategy. Each step taken toward a goal carries information about what works, what needs refinement, and what should be changed entirely. Without this ongoing evaluation, effort becomes random, inconsistent, and less productive. Observing outcomes allows decisions to be based on evidence rather than assumptions, making every action deliberate and purposeful. Tracking begins with measurement. Defining metrics that reflect real progress is essential. These measurements must be simple, relevant, and specific. General notions of "I am trying" or "I am working hard" provide no actionable insight. Identifying indicators that represent tangible progress toward the goal ensures that effort can be evaluated accurately. When numbers, results, or observable behaviors are monitored, patterns emerge. Patterns reveal efficiency, highlight bottlenecks, and provide data for informed adjustment. Measurement converts abstract effort into concrete information that guides decision-making and increases effectiveness over time. Consistency in tracking is critical. A one-time review or occasional reflection provides limited insight. Continuous tracking builds a real picture of performance and progress. Daily or regular observation creates accountability to oneself and establishes a rhythm of action. This consistency allows trends to be identified, not just isolated results. It is through repeated and systematic evaluation that meaningful improvement occurs. Habits, behaviors, and outcomes all become visible over time, revealing opportunities for refinement that would otherwise be invisible in the short term. Reflection converts data into understanding. Simply recording numbers, tasks, or actions is insufficient. Understanding why certain results occurred enables informed decisions. Reflecting on both successes and setbacks highlights effective strategies and exposes weaknesses. Reflection encourages critical thinking, deepens self-awareness, and strengthens the ability to respond intelligently to challenges. Without reflection, tracking is merely documentation. With it, tracking becomes a tool for growth and mastery of the process. Adjusting actions is where progress accelerates. Observation without adaptation is incomplete. When data reveals gaps between desired outcomes and actual results, actions must be modified. Adjustments may involve changing strategy, reallocating time, improving efficiency, or acquiring additional skills. The ability to adapt continuously ensures that momentum is maintained even when circumstances shift. Individuals who adjust effectively turn setbacks into opportunities for improvement and avoid wasting energy on approaches that produce minimal results. Adaptation transforms information into practical advantage. Flexibility enhances response to plans are rarely perfect, and environments change constantly. Being willing to modify actions in response to new information, challenges, or feedback strengthens resilience. Flexibility does not mean abandoning goals, but adjusting the pathway to achieve them. The more fluid the approach, the less likely progress will be halted by unexpected events. Adaptable individuals maintain forward motion, learn faster, and remain focused on results despite shifting circumstances. Flexibility converts obstacles into manageable adjustments rather than barriers. Prioritization increases the impact of adjustments. Not all actions have equal influence on outcomes. Evaluating which steps produce the highest return ensures that effort is directed where it matters most. Tracking data allows identification of high-impact actions versus low-impact activity. Concentrating on the most productive efforts maximizes results and reduces wasted energy. Each adjustment guided by priority contributes directly to progress, accelerating the journey toward the goal. Strategic focus ensures that daily work consistently produces meaningful movement. Accountability strengthens both tracking and adjustment. Reporting progress to oneself or trusted advisors reinforces discipline. Accountability encourages honesty in evaluating results and prevents rationalization of failure. When someone else observes or supports the process, commitment deepens and execution becomes more deliberate. Accountability ensures that adjustments are implemented consistently and that observation is not superficial. The combination of self-monitoring and external reinforcement enhances reliability, persistence, and results over time. Learning from feedback is essential. Progress tracking generates information, but applying that information transforms it into growth. Feedback, whether from external sources or personal evaluation, identifies gaps, clarifies expectations, and provides guidance for improvement. Constructive use of feedback informs decisions, reduces repetition of mistakes, and strengthens skill in execution. By responding intelligently to feedback, individuals enhance efficiency, deepen competence, and accelerate the realization of their goals. Feedback bridges the gap between intention and effective action. Persistence maintains forward motion. Tracking and adjustment require continuous effort and engagement. Changes often produce temporary discomfort or challenge established habits, yet commitment to the process ensures that improvement compounds. Persistent individuals resist discouragement, remain attentive to results, and continue adjusting despite obstacles. Momentum is built when repeated effort is coupled with active refinement. Persistence ensures that adjustments are applied consistently, and that progress is not derailed by temporary setbacks or difficulty. Clarity of vision directs tracking. Metrics and adjustments must align with the ultimate objective. Tracking irrelevant details or making random changes without connection to the goal dilutes effectiveness. Clarity ensures that observation is purposeful and that actions are refined toward meaningful outcome. When each adjustment is evaluated against the desired result, effort becomes precise, efficient, and powerful. Clear focus transforms routine monitoring into a strategic tool that continually pushes progress forward. Self-awareness enhances decision-making. Understanding strengths, weaknesses, tendencies, and biases allows individuals to interpret tracking data accurately. Self-reflection identifies patterns of behavior that either help or hinder progress.
Awareness of personal habits informs which adjustments will be most effective. Recognizing emotional responses, procrastination triggers, or avoidance tendencies provides insight into why certain actions succeed or fail. Informed decisions produce better results and prevent wasted energy on ineffective strategy. Large, radical adjustments can overwhelm, causing confusion or resistance. By implementing gradual, consistent changes based on tracked progress, improvement is steady, manageable, and more likely to persist. Small wins accumulate, reinforcing motivation and confidence. The compounding effect of continuous refinement produces outcomes that are often greater than expected. Incremental adjustments maintain momentum and create stability while steadily moving toward the goal. Visualization of progress reinforces engagement. Seeing improvement over time motivates further action and highlights areas that require adjustment. Visual representation of results, such as charts, checklists, or milestones, provides tangible evidence of advancement. When individuals can perceive growth, motivation strengthens, and clarity improves. Visual feedback creates awareness, informs decisions, and reinforces commitment to action. Tracking becomes a tool not only for information, but also for psychological reinforcement and sustained effort. Time management ensures consistent monitoring. Progress tracking is only effective when applied regularly. Allocating dedicated periods for observation, reflection, and adjustment integrates this practice into daily routine. Time structured for review prevents neglect, enhances focus, and reinforces accountability. Consistent attention to tracking overcomes drift, keeps momentum steady, and ensures that adjustments are informed by accurate, current data rather than memory or assumption. Problem-solving skills strengthen adjustment processes. Tracking exposes challenges, gaps, or inefficiencies, but addressing them requires strategy and critical thinking. Analyzing causes, generating solutions, and implementing targeted changes transforms insight into action. Problem-solving ensures that adjustments are effective, efficient, and impactful. Developing this capability alongside tracking creates a continuous cycle of improvement, turning obstacles into opportunities for learning and growth. Confidence grows from evidence of progress. Observing tangible improvement reinforces belief in the ability to achieve goals. Each adjustment that produces positive results validates action and motivates continued effort. Progress tracking converts effort into proof, which strengthens determination, reduces doubt, and increases resilience. The accumulation of evidence provides assurance that hard work, strategic action, and adaptability will ultimately produce success. Mindset amplifies effectiveness. Viewing tracking and adjustment as an empowering tool rather than a burden encourages engagement. A growth-oriented perspective embraces observation, reflection, and refinement as natural and essential elements of goal achievement. Mindset determines how information is interpreted, how adjustments are implemented, and how consistently action is taken. Approaching progress as a learning process rather than judgment fosters resilience, adaptability, and sustained forward movement. Integration ensures that adjustments compound improvement. Changes in one area often affect others. Tracking multiple dimensions of progress allows for holistic adjustment, ensuring that improvements reinforce rather than conflict with one another. Integration enhances efficiency, maximizes results, and creates alignment across all aspects of effort. Individuals who see progress as interconnected can make smarter, more impactful changes that accelerate achievement. Emotional regulation supports objective evaluation. Fear, frustration, or impatience can distort perception of progress. Remaining calm, composed, and focused allows accurate assessment of results and informed decisions about adjustments. Emotional balance ensures that actions are deliberate rather than reactive, maintaining clarity and reinforcing sustainable progress. The mind functions more effectively when free from distraction caused by negative emotion.
Chapter 9. Ask for help and learn from those who succeed. Achieving meaningful goals is rarely a journey taken entirely alone. People often believe they must figure everything out themselves, but this mindset slows progress, wastes effort, and creates unnecessary struggle. The most successful individuals understand that learning from those who have already walked the path accelerates results, minimizes mistakes, and opens doors that would otherwise remain closed. Asking for help is not a sign of weakness. It is a demonstration of wisdom, self-awareness, and commitment to growth. No one starts as an expert, and every step forward becomes easier when guided by experience, insight, and proven methods. By seeking guidance and learning from those who have succeeded, individuals gain perspective, practical strategies, and the confidence to move forward consistently toward their dreams. The first step in leveraging help is recognizing the value of others' experience. Success is rarely random or accidental. It is built through trial, error, reflection, and adjustment. Those who have achieved what you aspire to have already navigated obstacles, solved problems, and refined strategies. Their knowledge is a map of what works and what does not. Observing, asking questions, and studying their approach saves time and energy, providing clarity about which steps to take and which pitfalls to avoid. The mind grows faster when it builds on the foundation of proven experience, rather than reinventing solutions from scratch. Approaching others for help requires honesty and clarity. Clearly articulating goals, challenges, and areas of uncertainty enables mentors, advisors, and peers to provide actionable guidance. General requests like "I need help" are too vague to produce meaningful insight. Specific questions about obstacles, processes, or decision-making allow experienced individuals to share targeted strategies. Precision in communication demonstrates seriousness, commitment, and respect for the time and expertise of those offering guidance. This clarity improves the quality of advice received and accelerates progress. Humility is essential when asking for help. Pride, ego, or fear of judgment often prevent people from seeking support. Believing that asking for assistance diminishes capability is a misconception. Humility allows for openness to learning, acceptance of constructive feedback, and willingness to implement advice. The mind becomes more flexible, and progress is no longer limited by individual limitations. Those who practice humility benefit from cumulative knowledge, improve decision-making, and reduce the emotional burden of facing challenges alone. Active observation enhances learning from others. Watching how successful individuals operate, make decisions, and handle obstacles provides insights beyond verbal instruction. Attention to behavior, communication, habits, and problem-solving strategies uncovers nuances that are difficult to convey in words. Observing patterns of thinking and action equips learners to apply principles effectively in their own context. Practical, experiential learning through observation reinforces theory, improves judgment, and creates transferable skills that extend beyond the immediate goal. Feedback reinforces growth. Seeking advice is most effective when paired with willingness to implement suggestions and receive critique. Constructive feedback reveals blind spots, challenges assumptions, and guides more efficient action. Individuals who embrace feedback accelerate learning, avoid repeated mistakes, and refine their strategies in real time. Feedback is not criticism, it is a tool for improvement. Accepting and integrating insights from those who have succeeded strengthens competence, confidence, and resilience on the journey toward the dream. Mentorship provides structured guidance. A mentor offers experience, perspective, and accountability that cannot be gained independently. Mentors clarify priorities, highlight opportunities, and help navigate complex decisions. Their encouragement sustains motivation, especially during moments of doubt or challenge. Regular engagement with a mentor ensures that action is aligned with objectives and that obstacles are approached strategically. The cumulative influence of mentorship often surpasses the benefits of solitary effort by transforming learning into systematic, actionable growth. Networking expands opportunities for learning. Surrounding oneself with successful, motivated, and knowledgeable individuals provides exposure to new ideas, techniques, and insight. Conversations, collaboration, and shared experience accelerate understanding and reveal practical solutions to complex problems. Networking is not about superficial connections, but about cultivating relationships with those whose knowledge and experience complement your goal. These interactions broaden perspective, stimulate creativity, and provide emotional reinforcement during difficult phases of pursuit. Accountability partners strengthen commitment. When someone else observes effort, progress, and results, it reinforces the necessity of consistent action. Accountability provides motivation to maintain standards, follow through on plans, and implement lessons learned. Sharing successes and challenges with trusted peers encourages reflection, analysis, and problem solving. Accountability partners not only inspire but also challenge complacency, ensuring that progress remains active and deliberate. The social reinforcement of accountability amplifies personal discipline and drives sustained achievement. Learning is most effective when it is active rather than passive. Reading, listening, or observing provides knowledge, but true transformation requires engagement, experimentation. Applying strategies learned from those who have succeeded validates understanding and produces tangible results. Each attempt generates additional insight, clarifies what works in context, and identifies areas for refinement. Action turns guidance into skill, theory into habit, and instruction into practical capability. Progress becomes measurable, consistent, and grounded in experience. Patience is necessary when learning from others. Success is rarely immediate, and the application of advice takes time to yield results. Implementing guidance, testing strategies, and adjusting for personal context require persistence and continuous effort. Patience ensures that individuals do not become discouraged when initial outcomes are slower than expected. Maintaining focus over time allows cumulative learning to compound into meaningful progress. Endurance combined with instruction produces competence, confidence, and long-term achievement. Adaptation enhances learning from external sources. Advice and strategies must be customized to personal circumstances, strength, and goals. Blindly copying another's approach may produce frustration or inefficient interpretation. Experimentation and adjustment ensure that guidance is effective in practice. The ability to translate knowledge into actionable context-specific steps empowers individuals to overcome obstacles and maintain momentum. Adaptation transforms observation and instruction into meaningful practical advancements. Reflection consolidates lessons learned. After implementing guidance or observing success, reviewing outcomes reinforces understanding. Reflection highlights effective strategies, exposes mistakes, and deepens insight into personal strength and weaknesses. It ensures that knowledge is internalized rather than superficial. Consistent reflection allows for progressive refinement, making learning increasingly precise, efficient, and impactful. The mind becomes attuned to patterns, responses, and opportunities for growth, enabling better decision-making and consistent execution. Courage supports seeking help. Fear of rejection, criticism, or judgment often prevents individuals from asking for guidance. Confronting this fear builds confidence, expands perspective, and strengthens resilience. The courage to inquire, receive instruction, and act on advice opens pathways that would remain inaccessible otherwise. Each act of courage in seeking help reinforces the belief that challenges are manageable and that progress is attainable with support and collaboration. Diverse sources enhance knowledge.
Relying on a single perspective limits insight and creates blind spots. Learning from multiple successful individuals, industries, or experiences exposes new approaches, broadens understanding, and stimulates creative problem solving. Variety in input generates flexibility, encourages innovation, and increases the ability to respond effectively to unforeseen challenges. Diversity in learning equips the mind to navigate complexity with intelligence, adaptability, and foresight. Consistency in applying lessons ensures effectiveness. Information gained is only valuable if implemented continuously and thoughtfully. Sporadic or superficial application produces limited results. Committing to consistent practice, refinement, and integration of strategies ensures that learning translates into real-world progress. Each repetition strengthens skill, reinforces confidence, and builds momentum toward long-term achievement. Confidence grows through successful application. Implementing guidance effectively provides proof of capability. Each successful outcome reinforces belief in personal competence and the ability to overcome challenges. Tangible results strengthen motivation, encourage further learning, and support continued risk-taking. Confidence derived from experience is reliable, grounded, and self-reinforcing, creating a foundation for sustained pursuit of ambitious goals. Resilience is cultivated by learning from challenges. Even with guidance, obstacles, setbacks, and errors occur. The ability to adapt, adjust, and continue moving forward develops mental toughness, flexibility, and problem-solving capacity. Resilience ensures that learning is not derailed by temporary difficulties, but reinforced through experience. Each challenge faced with applied knowledge strengthens perseverance, deepens understanding, and accelerates progress. Mindset shapes the effectiveness of help. Approaching guidance with humility, openness, and determination maximizes learning potential. Growth-oriented thinking encourages experimentation, tolerates mistakes as part of the process, and maintains engagement during difficult periods. A receptive mindset ensures that knowledge is absorbed, applied, and integrated into ongoing effort. Mindset transforms external advice into internal strength and actionable results. Tracking learning outcomes increases impact. Documenting insights, strategies, and results allows for comparison, analysis, and refinement. Written records of progress provide reference points, highlight trends, and reinforce accountability. Tracking ensures that learning from others is not forgotten, misapplied, or diluted over time. Systematic documentation strengthens comprehension, guides adjustment, and maximizes the value of guidance received. Gratitude reinforces collaboration. Appreciating those who offer advice, support, and mentorship strengthens relationships, encourages continued guidance, and fosters a positive environment. Gratitude acknowledges the value of shared experience and reinforces motivation to act on insights responsibly. People respond positively to acknowledgement, creating a cycle of mutual support that accelerates learning and achievement. Relationships grounded in respect and appreciation enhance access to knowledge and resources.
Chapter 10. Push beyond comfort and take bold, consistent action. Taking action is where dreams are transformed into reality. It is one thing to imagine what you want, to plan and hope, but entirely another to step forward boldly and consistently, especially when comfort tempts you to stay still. Human nature leans toward ease, familiarity, and safety. We resist change because the unknown feels uncomfortable, uncertainty triggers doubt, and risk challenges the mind and body. Yet growth, progress, and achievement demand movement beyond these limitations. Bold action requires confronting fear, resisting hesitation, and committing to effort that may feel uncomfortable at first. It is not reckless action, but deliberate, courageous, and repeated action aimed squarely at goals that matter. Consistency compounds impact, and boldness accelerates momentum, creating a powerful combination that separates those who succeed from those who remain stagnant. Understanding the psychology behind comfort is essential. The brain is wired to avoid pain and seek pleasure. Comfort feels safe, predictable, and low risk, but it also inhibits development. Staying within familiar routines may provide short-term satisfaction, yet it prevents the acquisition of new skills, limits experiences, and constrains results. Recognizing this instinctive resistance allows conscious intervention. By observing discomfort without retreating, individuals gradually expand their capacity for challenge. Each small step beyond comfort strengthens resilience, increases tolerance for uncertainty, and builds confidence to tackle progressively larger goals. Action begins with decision. A dream without a decisive commitment is merely a fantasy. Choosing to act immediately clarifies intent, channels energy, and aligns the mind toward tangible results. Hesitation diminishes clarity, erodes motivation, and increases the likelihood of distraction or abandonment. The first step, however small, sets the tone for all subsequent action. Initiating movement demonstrates accountability to oneself, signals seriousness, and generates psychological momentum that reinforces continued effort. Preparation enhances bold action. While courage is essential, preparation ensures effectiveness. Knowledge, planning, and understanding reduce uncertainty and increase confidence. Learning the necessary skills, identifying resources, and anticipating obstacles transforms boldness from blind risk into intelligent action. Prepared action balances daring with strategy, making it sustainable rather than reckless. The more equipped an individual is, the more decisively they can move when opportunities arise, converting intention into measurable progress. Consistency multiplies results. One courageous action produces impact, but repeated action builds momentum and shapes habits. Daily or regular effort, even when uncomfortable, ensures continuous forward motion. Each act reinforces competence, strengthens confidence, and solidifies resilience. The accumulation of consistent effort transforms incremental steps into significant breakthroughs. Persistence, combined with boldness, produces a rhythm that carries individuals steadily toward the realization of their dreams, regardless of temporary setbacks or challenges. Facing fear is fundamental to pushing beyond comfort. Fear manifests in many forms: fear of failure, rejection, criticism, or the unknown. These emotional signals are natural but should not dictate behavior. Courage is developed by acknowledging fear, analyzing its source, and deliberately acting despite its presence. Repeated exposure to fear builds mastery over emotional response, reduces hesitation, and increases willingness to take necessary risks. Fear becomes a guide rather than a barrier, signaling areas for growth and opportunity rather than signaling limitation. Action requires accountability, declaring intentions publicly, sharing goals with trusted advisors, or tracking progress to oneself increases the likelihood of follow-through. Accountability prevents procrastination, enhances focus, and strengthens commitment to consistent effort. When actions are observed or reported, the psychological pressure to maintain standards reinforces persistence. Accountability structures boldness, ensuring that courageous efforts are sustained over time and produce meaningful results rather than isolated attempts. Mindset governs the quality of action. Viewing challenges as opportunities rather than threats reshapes the perception of discomfort. A growth-oriented mindset embraces difficulty as a necessary and beneficial part of progress. Challenges stimulate learning, strengthen problem-solving skills, and develop perseverance. When discomfort is reframed as an essential ingredient for success, bold actions become a natural extension of intentional growth rather than an exceptional effort.
Mindset transforms hesitation into initiative and fear into calculated risk. Breaking goals into actionable steps ensures progress remains tangible. Bold action does not require completing the entire journey at once, but moving steadily through achievable increments. Small steps reduce overwhelm, clarify focus, and provide measurable progress. Each completed step reinforces motivation, validates effort, and builds confidence to tackle subsequent challenges. Structuring action in manageable segments converts ambition into reality, transforming abstract dreams into concrete outcomes. Adaptability enhances consistent action. Bold moves do not guarantee smooth progress. Obstacles, unexpected events, and challenges emerge regularly. The ability to adjust approach while maintaining commitment ensures continuity. Flexibility prevents discouragement and keeps momentum intact. Assessing results, learning from experience, and revising strategies allows consistent action to remain effective even in dynamic circumstances. Adaptation strengthens resilience and ensures that bold efforts are aligned with results rather than simply effort. Focus maximizes impact. Boldness alone is insufficient if energy is scattered across unrelated tasks. Concentrating effort on activities that directly contribute to the desired outcome ensures that each action produces measurable benefit. Prioritization allows for efficient use of time, energy, and resources. When focus aligns with bold, consistent effort, progress accelerates and outcomes become achievable sooner. Clarity in objectives ensures that action is not wasted and effort compounds rather than dissipates. Overcoming doubt solidifies courage. Self-doubt is a common barrier to action, whispering reasons to wait, hesitate, or avoid discomfort. Recognizing doubt as a normal but manageable response allows individuals to act despite uncertainty. Confidence grows through repeated exposure to challenging tasks, reflection on past successes, and acknowledgement of capability. Each action taken reinforces belief in the ability to continue moving forward, reducing hesitation and strengthening resilience against future doubt. Energy management supports sustained action. Bold, consistent effort requires both physical and mental stamina. Proper rest, nutrition, focus, and emotional regulation maintain capacity to perform. Fatigue, stress, or distraction undermine action, reduce clarity, and increase the likelihood of retreat. Conscious attention to energy ensures that bold steps are executed effectively and consistently, reinforcing momentum and minimizing the risk of burnout or loss of direction. Reflection strengthens the cycle of action. Reviewing successes, failures, and learning points improves future performance. Reflection is not passive evaluation, but an active process that converts experience into insight. By understanding what worked, why it worked, and what can be improved, individuals refine their approach, increase efficiency, and strengthen future actions. Reflection converts each effort into a building block of competence, making subsequent steps more effective and impactful. Motivation is reinforced through visible progress. Achieving small milestones provides tangible evidence that bold, consistent action produces results. Observing the effects of effort reinforces confidence, commitment, and persistence. Milestones act as markers of achievement, reminding individuals that movement beyond comfort is productive, worthwhile, and capable of producing measurable outcomes. Progress motivates further action and sustains the energy necessary for continued advancement. Decision-making improves with action. Bold, repeated effort develops judgment, problem-solving skills, and adaptability. Experiencing challenges firsthand, confronting obstacles, and evaluating consequences enhances understanding of what works in practice. Action produces practical intelligence that cannot be gained from planning alone. Each decision becomes informed, deliberate, and effective, reinforcing competence and accelerating forward momentum toward goals. Support systems amplify bold action. Surrounding oneself with like-minded, ambitious, and disciplined individuals provides encouragement, accountability, and reinforcement. Collaborating, sharing experiences, and observing others' commitment reinforces personal effort. Support networks provide perspective, motivation, and practical insight, making it easier to sustain action in challenging periods. Shared commitment creates an environment where boldness is normalized, encouraged, and strengthened. Persistence guarantees outcome. Bold, consistent action ensures that effort continues through setbacks, delays, and unforeseen difficulties. Even when results are slow to materialize, the cumulative effect of sustained action produces measurable change. Individuals who persist develop resilience, strengthen skill, and maintain confidence in their ability to achieve their objectives. Persistence transforms initial discomfort into competence, setbacks into learning, and continued action into tangible achievement. Self-belief fuels momentum. Confidence in the value of effort, the clarity of purpose, and the inevitability of progress energizes sustained action. Belief creates courage to move into discomfort repeatedly, strengthens resolve against obstacles, and maintains consistency when external validation is absent. Self-belief sustains energy, reinforces focus, and provides the emotional foundation necessary for continuous advancement. Time-bound effort enhances focus and efficiency. Establishing deadlines, milestones, or schedules creates a framework for disciplined action. Structured effort prevents procrastination, ensures consistent effort, and maintains momentum toward the desired outcome. Time awareness encourages prioritization, reduces distraction, and reinforces accountability. Each interval of deliberate effort contributes to measurable progress, reinforcing the cycle of bold, consistent action. Risk management strengthens. Bold action involves navigating uncertainty, yet calculated evaluation of potential outcomes reduces unnecessary exposure to harm or wasted effort. Understanding consequences, preparing contingencies, and mitigating foreseeable obstacles allows courage to operate within a framework of intelligent, risk-aware action, increases sustainability, preserves resources, and strengthens the likelihood of successful outcomes. Learning compounds through action. Each bold step provides new insight, clarifies strategy, and deepens understanding. Action is not only a means of moving toward goals, but also a primary method of education. Every effort produces lessons about personal capacity, environmental dynamics, and effective tactics. Knowledge gained through application is enduring, actionable, and directly relevant to ongoing success. Boldness creates opportunity. Many chances remain unavailable to those who hesitate. Acting decisively opens doors, attracts resources, and engages possibilities that would otherwise remain out of reach. Bold, repeated steps create visibility, build credibility, and draw support from others. Opportunity favors action, and consistent courage ensures that advantages are noticed, pursued, and capitalized upon.